Bell subscribe to Haiti Folktale for more stories of magic, love, and mystery from the heart of the Caribbean. The mango tree that wept. Come closer, my friends, the fire of Haiti's stories still burns. In every word, our ancestors speak, and in every tale, our spirit rises. You are in the circle now, the circle of Haiti Folktale. Keep this fire alive, like this story, and subscribe to Haiti Folktale today. Some trees grow from tears, not from rain. There once lived a woman named Maurice in the hills above Cap Haitian. She was not wealthy, nor was she known beyond her village, but everyone who met her remembered her smile. It was the kind of smile that made burdens feel lighter, that made children run to her, that made the elderly say, "Here is a good woman." Her life was simple, but her joy was full, for she had one treasure greater than all others, her little boy. He was quick as a lizard, mischievous as a bird, always in motion. His bare feet slapped against the packed dirt paths, his laughter rang out across the fields. He chased goats, startled chickens, splashed in puddles when the rain came. Sometimes he would climb trees higher than he should, and Maurice would gasp and scold him, but her heart swelled with pride when he waved from the branches. The boy loved mangoes. When the season came, he devoured them greedily, juice running down his chin, pits tossed aside like forgotten treasures. "Mama," he would say, holding up a pit, "one day I'll plant my own mango tree. It will grow taller than the clouds, and we will sit beneath it together." Maurice would laugh, press a kiss to his sticky hair, and say, "Then I will wait for its shade, my son." But joy, my friends, is fragile. It glows like dawn and fades as quickly. That year the rains came late. Dust rose where water should have flowed. The earth cracked, the crops suffered. And with the heat came fever. It slipped through the village like a shadow, stealing strength, stealing breath. Mothers prayed, fathers grew desperate, children whimpered in their beds. Maurice did all she could. She pressed cool cloths to her boy's brow, whispered songs into his ear, begged Bondi to spare him. Neighbors came with herbs, with prayers, with hope. But the fever did not relent. One dawn, as the sun stretched its first light across Cap Haitian's hills, the boy lay still. His chest no longer rose. His eyes, once bright as fireflies, were closed forever. The house grew silent. His laughter was gone from the yard. The mango pits he had saved lay forgotten in a small basket. Maurice's smile vanished, replaced by a sorrow that pressed on her chest until she could hardly breathe. The neighbors came, lighting candles, bringing food, sitting beside her in silence. But nothing filled the emptiness of her arms. The days blurred into one another. Nights were longer, colder. The stars above seemed cruel, the earth beneath her feet heavy. She wept until her eyes ached, until her body trembled, until her heart felt hollow. Her neighbors pitied her, but none could ease her pain. One morning, as the mist rolled down from the mountains, Maurice rose before the others. She carried one of the mango pits her son had left behind. She walked to the back of her yard and knelt on the hard ground. With her bare hands she dug a hole, earth clinging to her fingers, nails breaking. She placed the pit gently in the soil, as though laying her child down to sleep once more. Covering it with earth, she whispered through her tears, "Grow. So I will not be alone." Her tears fell, soaking the dirt. The earth listened. Days later, a green shoot appeared, fragile yet determined. Maurice tended it as she had once tended her boy. She watered it, shaded it, spoke to it softly. But it was not only water that fed it. Her tears, falling daily, carried grief, love, memory. The tree drank them all. And so it grew, faster than any tree should. The trunk thickened, the branches stretched wide, the leaves glimmered in the sun. The neighbors marveled, whispering that it grew by the power of sorrow. And then came the miracle. When Maurice wept beneath its shade, flowers bloomed overnight. When her tears touched the roots, mangoes swelled, heavy and round. But these mangoes were no ordinary fruit. They glowed faintly, as though lit from within. At night, they shimmered like lanterns scattered among the branches, casting a soft golden light on the ground. The villagers whispered, children pressed their faces to the fence, marveling at the glowing fruit. Women whispered that it was a blessing from heaven. Old men shook their heads, muttering of curses. Some avoided the house, uneasy with what they did not understand. But Maurice knew. She sat beneath the branches, cradling one glowing mango in her hands, and felt her boy's laughter in the leaves, his warmth in the light. She never ate them. She could not, for they were not food. They were memory. They were him. Seasons passed, and word of the tree spread beyond Cap Haitian. Travelers spoke of a hillside where night itself glowed. Some came to see it with their own eyes, leaving quickly, unsettled. Others bowed their heads in reverence. But no one dared touch the fruit. Until the stranger came. He was a merchant, worn from travel, his clothes dusty, his face drawn with hunger. He had lost much on the road, money, friends, even his family long ago. The years had made him bitter, yet inside there was still a man who remembered kindness. When he entered the village, he saw the glow on the hillside. His breath caught at the sight of the tree. The golden fruit hung like moons, lighting the night. His stomach growled, his mind burned with thoughts of wealth. With such fruit, he thought, I will become rich. People will pay dearly to taste what shines in the dark. Yet a part of him, the part that still remembered gentleness, trembled. He hesitated, but hunger and greed pressed harder. That night, while the village slept, he crept to the fence. The branches swayed, the fruit pulsing softly. He climbed the wall, reached up, and plucked one. It was warm in his hands, as though alive. He bit into it. Sweetness flooded his mouth, richer than honey, smoother than cream. But almost at once sorrow followed, sinking into his bones, pressing on his heart. He staggered, dropping to his knees, tears running down his face though he did not know why. That night, he dreamed. In the dream he stood in darkness. A little boy appeared before him, barefoot, glowing faintly, eyes full of sorrow. Why did you take me? The boy asked. The merchant tried to speak, but his throat closed. The boy reached out a hand, and the merchant felt grief pierce him like a blade. You were not yours to take, the boy whispered. The dream shifted, and the man found himself walking through a grove of mango trees, all glowing, their branches heavy. From each fruit came whispers of laughter, of cries, of voices he could not bear. He awoke trembling, the taste of mango still on his tongue, the child's voice echoing in his ears. At dawn, he stumbled to Maurice's yard, pale, broken. Woman, he said, what tree grows here? What fruit shines with such sorrow? Maurice looked at him, eyes deep with both grief and strength. It is no ordinary tree, she said. It is the spirit of my child. My tears gave it life. The fruit holds his memory. The man fell to his knees. Forgive me, I did not know. I was hungry, I was foolish, I thought only of myself. For a long time Maurice was silent, listening to the wind in the branches. At last she said, return what you have taken. The merchant gave her the pit of the mango he had eaten. She placed it in the soil at the tree's roots, covering it gently. This time, his tears fell on the earth as well. And the tree drank them, too. From that day, he was changed. He stayed in the village for a time, helping Maurice care for the tree. He mended her fence, carried water, repaired her roof. He spoke little, but the sorrow in his eyes softened. The villagers who had once whispered now said, see how grief can teach even a stranger. The mango tree grew larger still, its shade spreading wide. The fruit glowed season after season. But Maurice no longer wept only from sorrow. Sometimes she smiled through her tears, for she knew her boy still lived, not in her arms, but in the roots and branches that touched the sky. Children came to play in her yard again, their laughter mingling with the rustling leaves. Travelers came, but none touched the fruit. They bowed their heads in respect and left in silence. The tree became more than hers. It became the village's, a place of memory, of gathering, of teaching. The glowing mangoes lit the hillside like stars, a reminder that love endures even after loss. And in the still of night, when the wind moved through the branches, some swore they could hear a child's laughter. Soft, playful, carried on the air. Maurice would close her eyes and smile, tears shining, for she knew the truth, her boy had never left. He had simply changed. Some trees, my friends, grow from rain. But others, grow from tears. So if you pass a mango tree heavy with fruit, look closely. Perhaps it carries more than sweetness. Perhaps it carries love. Perhaps it carries memory. Perhaps it carries the soul of one who could not stay, but could not leave. And so, my friends, remember this story from Cap Haitian, told again tonight by Haiti Folktale.